I'm going to turn off just to save bandwidth. Unless y'all want to look at the class, there's 4 people here. I'm going to turn off the video just so we can save a little bandwidth. Okay. I'm going to go backwards because right now I should be answering questions on 5.5. So I'm going to go backwards and hopefully we can get all these. I don't know if I can or not because there's so many. So the first one is 5.5. I can't see it. Well, 5.5. Let me scrunch this down a little bit. Number 71 in the book. Number 20 online. Okay, I don't know this for sure, but I think we did one like this in class, either this class or the Math 120-24 class. I can't remember, but did we do one of these in here? Y'all remember seeing it? Okay. Then we must have done it in the 124. Now, let me just say this, and I had to say this in the other class because one of my students said, I don't remember going over that question. I said, well, I remember doing it. I said it was either in this class or the other class, and they looked at me like I was crazy. If you're having problems with a question, and I told this student this yesterday, then maybe you ought to check both classes. Maybe I've gone over the other one, you know. Would it hurt somebody to go over 2 videos? I don't think so. So, you know, I'm just saying, that's why I put them on there, because one class may go over these questions and the other class may go over these questions. But I think I've gone over this question. I'm going to stay down so I don't cover up the video. I'm going to cover up the board. You can't see through muddy water. First of all, you got certain consonant, vowel, consonant, number. Now I'm going to put what we're going to put under it right here. Consonant, vowel, consonant, number. This is the license plate pretty much, isn't it? Remember me telling you the license plates and the alarm codes are the same? Okay, first of all, how many consonants are there? Well, there's 26 letters in the alphabet. Minus A, E, I, O, and U. So how many consonants do we have? 21 consonants. And I don't know how to spell consonants. I want to spell constant. Consonant. I ain't no dadgum English teacher. All right? So there's 21 going to go here and 21 going to go here. How many spaces is that? That means I want somebody to say something. How many spaces is consonants? How many? What are you doing here? You decided to come into class.
Yes, sir.
Oh, my Lord, that means she wants something.
Is that?
Yeah, I figured it was. All right. Now, remember in the license plate problem, what did I tell you? How many spaces is equal to what? Starts with an E. X, P.
Exponent?
Thank you. You're not supposed to talk. You know that, don't you? 21 to the second power. Everybody with me? Okay, so that's done. How many vowels are there? 5. Hubert. Thank you, class. I appreciate y'all's interaction. How many spaces are there? 1, Hubert. Thank you, class. How many numbers are there? 0 to 9. How many numbers is that? Thank you. And how many spaces? And there's your answer. Now I'm not going to, you can do it on the calculator, I'll do it right quick. So it's hard for me to see at a 15-degree angle, so bear with me. So on, and why did my board disappear? Oh, shit. Anyway, 21 exponent second power times, y'all have to tell me, was it 5 to the second power or 5 to the first power? I don't have to do 5 to the first power, but I'm doing it for y'all. And 10 to the first power. And that's your answer. And you feel good about yourself. Now what? Now it says, what if case sensitive? Well, case sensitive only affects what?
The letters.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, somebody actually spoke. So we got consonants, vowel, consonant, and number. So these guys are going to be affected by the case sensitive. So instead of 21, now how many can we have?
42.
Thank you. If your numbers are case sensitive, how many do you have? Well, how many A's do you have? 1 or 2? You got little a and what? Big A. So you got double it. So what do we do with the vowels? Well, instead of 5, we have what? And what is this? 10. Numbers are not affected. So now we have 42 squared times what? And that's your answer. So whatever that comes out to be, let's go do that. And this is a good question because it's a good test question. Why is it a good test question? Because it's not wordy and it's short and sweet. That's the kind of questions I like to pick. And it erases it, so I don't know why it does that. And all the boards that I use, it doesn't do that. But in here, when you hit the mouse button, it erases everything. So maybe in 2050, we can get this configured. What is it, 2020 right now? All right, 42 raised to the second power times 10 raised to the second power. And hit enter. 176, 400. Or you could say 42 squared or 420 to the what? Second power. So that's that answer. Okay. I hate that the whiteboard took it off. I don't understand why it does that, but it would take me 3 weeks to get it fixed. So I might as well just go ahead and use it. All right, so anyway, next question. Trying to get out of this one without, I hope I didn't hit this. And that's what I was afraid of. Yep, that's what I was afraid of. Hold on a second. 120, there we go. And that's the last one right here. So I'm going to delete that one. Next one. This is 5.5, 61/19. All right, I'll start you off on this one. Probably not a test question, but I'll start you off on it. A grade appeals process at a university requires a jury be selected 5 individuals from 6 students and 7 faculty. So let's write that down. The jury is supposed to be made up of 5 slots. 5 people. And you have to choose from 6 students and 7 faculty. Oh, shoot. Okay, so first of all, how many different, we gotta have a denominator. So the denominator has to be the total, right? I already told y'all that first, couple of weeks of class, okay? The denominator are the first couple of weeks of probability. You always gotta have a denominator. So the total is the denominator. So would not the total be how many combinations of students and faculty can you have in that 5-number slot? Wouldn't that be the total? That would be using all students and faculty. So that would be, and order is somewhere in here it should say order is no problem. Order is not the problem with a jury. Okay, does the jury have officers? No, it does have a chair. I don't know what you call it. You call it something, I can't remember. But it's not a chairman, it's the leader. But that's it, there's no order. So this is a combination because a jury has no order, okay? So our total, which is our denominator, is going to be 6 and 7 is 13? 13 combination 5. That's going to be your denominator. So let's pull up our handy dandy calculator and let's do 13 combination 5. And I bet you dollars, can't I just use this? Nope. And as soon as I hit this, it's going to take off everything. I'm sorry. Okay, so here we go. As I showed y'all to do 13, and then go to math, probability, and combination of 5. All right, now I need you to write that down because that's your denominator. So from here on out, whatever you calculate, you're going to calculate with that denominator because that's the total. Now, let's see what the second part of the question says. Okay. What is the probability of selecting a jury of all students? All students. So now, forget the denominator now. You know it. What's the denominator? 12 what? 87. Okay, so you know 1287 is the denominator. And you want to know the probability of all students, okay? All students, ALLS, all students. Well, wouldn't probability, let's say students is how many students? 6. And how many slots are there? 5. So out of the 5 slots of the jury filled by 6 of these students, well, there could only be 5, but all 5 slots be students. That would be your answer. What about all faculty? I'm going to do the faculty and then we're going to move on, okay? Because I got a bunch of questions to cover. B, what about faculty? all faculty. You know 1287 is going to be on the bottom. All right, now somebody give me the combination for the top. For all faculty. Okay, 5 would be the second part. What's the only other number having to deal with faculty? 7. Okay, write that down because as soon as I hit the button, it's going to disappear. How many faculty members are there? Read the first sentence. I mean, at the end of the first sentence. So when you see this problem on your homework, you need to highlight 3 numbers. What are the 3 numbers? 5 slots. You got 6 students, and you got 7 faculty. Those are the 3 numbers that's going to generate all your answers. So let's go ahead and do. Now, y'all going to have to help me out here because this thing's going to disappear. It just started doing this today, so I don't know. I haven't hit anything, so I don't know. So I'm going to do 6 combination 5. I think that's going to come out to be 6, but let me see. So I'm going to hit 6 math, probability, combination 5. Yep. So that would be 6 over, what's the denominator, 1287? So, oh, there it is right there. Divided by 1287. I need somebody to write that down, please. There's that one. So that's your first answer. Your second answer is going to be, let's see, what I say, 7 combination 5. So that's going to be 7 math, probability, combination 5, divided, that's 21, write down 21, divided by 1287.
You have a work email.
And you feel good about yourself. So I'm going to try to hit this and see if, let me make this small. There we go. There's that answer. Round to 5 decimal places, 00466. And then this one is 0.01632. 0.01632. And you should feel good about yourself. What is the probability of selecting a jury of 2 students and 3 faculty? Now remember, it's over 1287. So how would you do? What's the key word here? Somebody say it. And. Somebody tell me what and is. And is multiplication, is it, Hubert? Yeah, that's right, class. All right, so what's the first combination going to be? Students. How many students do we have to choose from? Combination. How many slots are going to be filled by students? Okay. How many faculty we got to choose from?
7.
And how many slots are going to be? How many slots are going to be filled by faculty? There you go. They used to have a question like this in the other book, and it was about eggs that were cracked and eggs that were not cracked. And it was the most confusing problem in the world, okay? This one is not confusing because you can actually picture, 5 jury members with, 3 being. Now, who would want to do something like this, okay? Well, this is where your psychologist, would a lawyer, yes, a lawyer would want to know this kind of information, okay? I mean, just substitute Latino and Caucasian, or substitute Latino and Indian, or substitute, if you're trying to, figure out how many different juries you have, combinations. So here we go. Let's do this. So 6 combination 2. Now I'll show you a trick I learned in the war. You can actually hit second enter, and that will bring up your last few. Just keep hitting it. There we go. So one of those was 7 combination 3, right? All right, write that down. That's 35. And then what was the other one? Thank you. And 15 times 35, 15 times 35, and divide that by what? There you go. And how many places they want to? 5 decimal places, 40793. And you feel good about yourself. Now, in all fairness, that probably is the most difficult question that you could do in this section, 5.5. All right, next question. Now y'all see why I started at the end. I started with 5.5 questions because that's the ones we should be going over right now. All right, 5.5. Let me move this over. 5.5, I can't move it over anymore. So number 19, 5.5, number 61 in the book, number 19 online. The grades process of a university, okay, that's the same question. Now go ahead and get it started. Let's do the first one. I'm not going to do all of it. The grade appeals requires to select 5 individuals randomly from a pool of 9 students and 12 faculty. So I'm going to write all that out for you. 5 slots. And the pool, or the people, are going to come from 9 students and 12 faculty. So let's say you work at a college, or you go to a college, and you got 12 faculty members and 9 students. That's all that goes to that college. And you got to do a grade jury of 5 people, and you're picking from those people. So what would the denominator be? The denominator for all your denominators would be what? Come on, don't be shy. You know it's a combination. So you only need 2 numbers. What's one of them? 21, good. And what always falls on the right side? The slots. So that's your denominator for A, B, and C. Now, tell me what the numerator for A is. You know it's going to be a combination. What does it say?
9.
All students, right? So that'd be 9, combination what?
5 slots.
Remember, N is always your what? Your biggest number. Okay? So that's A. I'm going to let y'all do that. B, 21, combination 5. And what would B be? B's going to all what? All faculty. What would all faculty be? What?
12.
12. And C, I don't know what C is going to ask, but let's say they want 2, let's say they want 2 students and 3 faculty members. Now, I don't know what, put a star here, I don't know what they're going to ask you. I made this up, okay? I made up 2 and 3. Does everybody understand that? I made that up. I just need to get to the next question. All right? So that's going to be 9, combination 2, times what? 12, combination what? 3, all over 21, combination 5. And I'm going to highlight these 3 because these 3 never what? They never change because they're your totals. Now write that down because as soon as I hit the mouse, it's going to go away. Everybody got that? Okay. All right, next question. And I hate to kind of run, but I've got a lot of questions to cover, so we should be going over the test. Mr. Goyen, did that help? It's kind of confusing doing it all, but once you put it in part A, B, and C, and you know the denominator is the same, it kind of lessens the confusion. Next one, 5.5, 55/17. I feel like I'm doing the last part of y'all's homework for you. 17, 18, 19. Okay, this one is one of those questions that are a little bit different, okay? This, remember I told y'all how to do smile or a number? If you're given a word like smile, how many different combinations? Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that would be 5 factorial, which I think that's 120. Somebody check me. So there's 120 different combinations of those letters. This one is different. It's got commas in it, and it's also got 2 that are repeating. Okay, so that's the difference between the 2. Make a note. Commas, this is not a word. It's got commas and it's got 2 that are repeating. Everybody see that?
So what did you say about the commas and repeating?
See the 2 I's? They're repeating. There's nothing repeating in this one. And there's no commas in this one. This is a word. That's not a word. You understand the difference between the 2? And this one, you set it up. Total factorial over individual factorial. So that's going to be, how many letters are there? What does the direction say?
10.
10 factorial over, here we go, 1 factorial times 2 factorial times 1 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 factorial 1. Should be 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, of course, 1 factorial is what? 1, so you really don't have to worry about it. So it comes out to be 10 factorial over 2 factorial. Everybody with me? And that comes up to your answer.
Why is it 10 factorial over 2 factorial only?
Total factorial, how many letters are there? Okay? And then each individual factorial, how many U's are there? So there's 1 factorial. How many I's are there? There's 2 factorial. If there were 2 U's, my cousin being one of my favorite movies, the 2 U's, okay? Oh, I love that movie. If there was 2 U's, then it would be 2 factorial times 2 factorial, and then whatever's 1, just do 1 factorial. What if there was 3 U's? Then it would be 3 factorial times 2 factorial. That's the difference between the 2 problems. You might see a homework problem that talks about flags. That's the same type problem as this one. Different color flags. I don't know, they might have taken it out. Sometimes they take out problems and add new problems between semesters. And of course, we don't know about it. We just come up on them. Okay. Next. I hate to rush. I know I've said that like 5 times. Delete. Next one. 5.3, 26/15. Among 40 to 45-year-olds, 25 say they've operated machinery when drunk. I think that's funny. At least they were honest, right? Okay, 40 to 45-year-olds say they have operated while drunk. What do you call that? Under the influence of alcohol. UIA. Under the influence of alcohol. Is that not scary? Then what is the 25%? 25% say that they have. So somebody tell me what the complement of that is. What's the complement of 25%?
75% not.
So 75% have what? Have not operated with under the influence. Okay, so you need to start off, when you see a question like this one, you need to start off with saying, okay, what's the complement? They give me 25, the complement is 75. They gave me 40%, the complement would be 60. And we talked about complement. The complement of true is false. The complement of black is white. The complement of yes is no. The complement of 0 is 1. Now, when you're talking about a probability of 1, think of a dollar. You know, a dollar bill? If you break that dollar into 35 cents, what's the complement of 35 cents? 65 cents. If you break it into a 25 cent, complement is 75 cents. So from the beginning, I know that this is 100% true. Okay? And that's based off of this number right here. What else does it say? All what? Well, I know that right there is going to be an exponent. So now you just got to match up the question. What is the probability that all four have operated? Which one's all four have operated? That would be the black, right? So that'd be 0.25 raised to the what? Fourth power. Now y'all can check it in your calculators, okay? So that's going to be 0.25 raised to the fourth power. And then I think somebody check that. Well, let's do it. It ain't going to be that. I can just see. It's going to erase it. As soon as I do it, it's going to erase it. So somebody tell me what 0.25 raised to the fourth power is.
That's correct. It just, the actual answer goes.
0.0039, is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, subtract 0.0039 from 1. What do you get?
.996.
Point what?
9961.
Okay, well, let me put the 1 in there. Okay, so for B, you say 1 minus A. So for B, put 1 minus A. And I can't, this board is not configured correctly. 1 minus A. And A is equal to 0.0039. So 1 minus 0.0039. What is the probability that none of the four have? Well, that would be 0.75 raised to the fourth power. So somebody do that for me. What's 0.75 raised to the fourth power? I'm sorry, hold on a minute. I was rolling. What? 0.3165? 3164? And subtract that from 1. So D is 1 minus C. What's 1 minus 0.3164? 0.68436? 0.6, I done forgot it. 6836, is that it? So I have to rewrite everything again because, so this is 0.25 raised to the fourth power. And that 4 and then of course this is the complement of this, which is 1 minus 0.25 to the fourth power. And what is the complement of 0.25? I just said it on red. What was the red? 0.75. So this would be 0.75 because this one says none of the four have operated heavy machinery. So that would be 0.75 to the fourth power. And then this is 1 minus 0.75 to the fourth power. So whatever you're given that percentage, that's what you got to work with. Question? Heard a gasp or a moan. If I gave you 35%, what's 5%? 65. So it'd be 35 to the fourth power, 0.35 to the fourth power, and 0.65 to the fourth power. What if I gave you 10%? What would the complement of 10% be? What's the complement of 10 cents to a dollar? 90.9. So 0.1 to the fourth power, 0.9 to the fourth power. What's your question, Ms. Dennis? You good? I don't have confidence in that. The teacher in me says you have a question. Which one is it? All of it. Now, honestly, Ms. Dennis. Okay. So you understand that the complement of 25 is 75. You understand that? And the 4 comes from the question right there, A. What is the probability of 4? And you just type it in. Now, go back. What is the probability that all four have done construction work with a piece of equipment drunk or under the influence? 0.0039. That's pretty good. That's almost 0. What is the probability that at least one has not operated? Well, that's 0.9961. That's good. Has not operated. What is the probability that none of the 4 have operated? 31% chance, 32% chance. And what is the probability that at least 1 has operated? That's a 67% chance or 68% chance. Now, is this one of my favorite questions? No. I can tell you that right now. I wouldn't put this on a test, but those are good. Those are 4 good test questions. Wouldn't want to do the whole thing. Next, I'm looking at the clock. I got to hurry. I want to try to at least show you all the tests. Next, 5315/9. This one is not as complicated as it looks, I promise you. I want you to write it down though, and you don't have to write it word for word. A test to determine antibodies is 99.9% effective. Therefore, and that's pretty much all you need to write down. I think it says, write down A. What is the probability that the test comes back negative for all 7 people? And then what is the probability that at least 1 comes back for 7 people? So what's your exponent? 7. Your exponent is 7. Usually when they give you 7 people or 4 people, that's going to be your exponent. So what's the only percentage you're given? 99.9. So I'm going to raise that to the 7th power somewhere in this problem. So 0.999 raised to the 7th power. Let's go ahead and do that. 0.999 raised to the 7th power. 0.993. So that's probably that answer right there. Now, what is the complement of 0.993? 0.007, Hubert. That's it.
Where did you get that from? Peter?
What's the complement of 0.993? What's the probability? 0 to what? What does probability go up to? 1. So subtract it from 1.
So,
So what is 1 minus 0.993? I think you got to hang up with the complement. Complement is always what makes up the whole. True, false. That's the question. True, false. True. If it's not true, then it's what? Okay. If I give you, and I tell students this, when I was in 7th grade at Southwood, all right, I had to pay for my lunch every day. Well, sometimes I wasn't hungry, but my mom and dad would give me $1, okay? And back then, lunch was 65 cents. Now, buddy, I could change 65 cents from $1 because I had 35 cents left, a quarter for an ice cream, and then I had 10 cents left, okay? That's the complement. Complement is 65 cents to $1, or 1 is 35 cents. It's what makes up the whole. So if you have 0.999, okay, and you raise that to the 7th power, then your probability is 0.993. So take that away from 1, and that's the opposite. What's the opposite of true? False. What's the opposite of the probability of something? The probability of not something. So when you take that 0.993 away from 1, you're left with 0.007. So you need to write down for B 1 minus A, which is 0.993. That question right there, what do you see when you see that question? I can't do it. Yeah, skip it. And all you had to do was just 2 simple steps. Is that a good test question? No, I would never put that on the test. Now the computer might put it on the test, but I wouldn't. Okay, next. I might get through this. No, you cannot. Don't have to ask. Just get up. We're all adults, even though the college don't want us to act like adults. Anyway. Oh gosh. Really? People are sending me questions now? This ain't, I'm gonna fuss at y'all. All right, so this one is 5.313/8. I shouldn't be getting questions on 5.1 and 5.2, but I'm not gonna say anything. About 17% of the population is hopelessly romantic, whatever. If 2 people are randomly selected, what is the probability? Now, I'm only going to do A because this is kind of a complement question too. So what's the percentage they give us? So change that to 0.17. And where's our exponent? How many people? 2. So it's 0.17 to the 2nd power. So 0.17 raised to the 2nd power. 0.0289. Now they're going to ask you probability of at least 1. At least 1 means 0. So I've got a number line. I'm going to do this. I'm going to show you this on the number line. Well, actually, I don't have an arrow. It's got this, 2, 1, 0. Oops. All right, does everybody understand that number line right there? Because it said 2, right? 2 people were randomly selected. So your highest number is 2. Your lowest number is what? 0. Think about it. If you survey 3 households, what's the highest number of households? 3. What's the lowest? 0. Because you gotta have, you can't just say 1. You gotta say 0 households, because could somebody have not surveyed any households? Yes. So you would say 0. All right, so it says right here, if 2 people were randomly selected, when we did that one, okay, what is the probability of this one and this one? Okay? So what is the probability that at least one? What does at least one mean? Somebody tell me what at least one means. At least one. What does that mean? That means that your lowest number is what?
0. 1.
1. So that means that I'm using this guy and this guy for at least 1. Does everybody understand that? If you look at the word at least 1 means your lowest number is 1. So that means everything above 1 and equal to 1 is being used. Does everybody understand that? Okay, so what number does that leave if you use 1 and 2? 0. So technically, when it says the probability of at least 1, then that means I'm finding 0. So I'm going to do the probability of 1 plus the probability of 1 and 2. Now we've already done 1 and 2. 1 and 2 is what? 0.289, 0.0289. And the probability of 1, you're just going to do 0.17 to the first power is 0.17. So the probability of at least 1 is equal to 0.17 to the first power plus the probability of 1 and 2, which is 0.0289. Not one of my favorite questions. Like I said, I tell you which questions I put on a test, and that's probably not one I would put on a test. But, Probably. In other words, I would not drag it over to the test, but the computer does regenerate questions. And sometimes it will regenerate a question that I really don't like, even though I don't want it on there. Sometimes. I do pick the questions, but the computer, MyLabs Plus, it does regenerate some of the questions. And when it does that, it may pick a problem that I don't like. But usually it sticks to what I pick, usually. All right, let me jump to another question. I've got a lot of questions. All right, next one. This is number 13/8. Okay, same question. So this one would be, let's do the first part. 0.19 raised to the what power? Good job. Both means 2. Don't be like the person at the drive-thru. I want to order a couple of hamburgers. What's a couple? I actually had that happen. And you know what? I am about ready to boycott drive-thrus.
Me too.
The people that work at drive-thrus, and if you work at a drive-thru, I hope I'm not talking about you, but I don't think you can chew bubble gum and to walk at the same time. I ask for drinks without ice in it. 1, I have a sensitive tooth. 2, I want a cup of drink. I don't want a third of a cup of drink. All right, because if I'm gonna pay $3, which is outrageous for a drink, I'm gonna get the whole thing full. Every single time, I have to give it back to them. I say, no, take your little tray and your drink and take it back in there and give me one with no ice. It's a simple request. Not to mention, I don't even go to Zaxby's anymore. I've went to all the Zaxby's in Anderson, and every single one of them got my order wrong.
They don't listen.
No, they don't. And it's just like my class. I got 6 classes, and I've got about 3 or 4 students in every class. They don't listen to a word I say. And they don't listen to a word I say, and they don't listen to a word on the videos. So that's where it comes from. All right, I'll shut up.
This is what I think. Anything else? Anything else?
Yeah.
Anything else? Anything else? Anything else?
You didn't listen. You didn't listen to the first order.
No, I said to the lady when I pulled up, I said to her, you make me so nervous, I don't know what else I want.
Oh, I can't stand the ones you go up to like Arby's, and they won't give you a chance to say whether you want a large or medium. You just say, I would like to get a number 2, small, medium, and large, please. And I just start over. I'd say, I would like to get a number 2, small, medium, and large, please. I'd start over. And finally, after about 5 times, the person's, it clicks. Oh, I shouldn't say anything until they finish. Okay, I'll shut up. And this will be 1 and this one. The probability, so that would be 0.19 raised to the first power plus 0.0361.
Where does it say that we should?
Because you've already done this probability and you're finding the probability and you have to add them. That's just because you've already done it the first in A and you're adding them together. And it's only with this one, with the way the question's worded, you have to add the 2 together. I don't have any secret to tell you, any secret word or anything. You just have to know the question. That's why we do the homework problems. So with this one, for part B, you add, there'd be 0.19 to the first power, and then you would add it to 0.0361. Just take my word for it. I hate to be that way.
Oh, no.
Just take my word for it. Yeah. And I showed it to you on the number line, and the number line is supposed to show you that you're doing the probability of 1 and the probability of 1 and 2, because that was 2 people. 1 person and then 2 people. You've already done 2 people with A. That's 2 people. 1 person, you don't multiply them, you add them, because those are 2 probabilities. You add them together.
So for the first part, it'd be 19, the second one?
Yeah, the first part is always your percentage, and both means what? 2. Just like a couple means 2. Okay? For those drive-through people. Go and get a couple of large Cokes. How many, sir? A couple. And I'm one of those people, if you've gone through 12 years of school and you don't know what a couple is, I'm not going to tell you.
Well, it's still not the correct wording.
Huh?
It's still not the correct wording when you're ordering something. You need to get numbers, not a couple. A couple of fries.
What is a couple?
I don't care. I will give you 2 French fries.
Exactly, and that's what it is. A couple is 2.
Not 2 orders, 2 fries.
Okay, I will change it. A couple of orders of fries. How about that?
Yeah.
Anyway, I just think it's funny. All right. Thank you for the interaction, Mr. Dennis. I appreciate it. You don't know how much I appreciate it. Next, 5.3. 13/8. I'm trying to get it through everything. That's the same question. So what would this one be? 0.14 to the what? Second power. And then this would be 0.14 to the first power, which is 0.14, plus 0.0196. That would be the second part. Oh, me, I feel like I'm going over the three questions same. They were the same, I believe. 5.311/7. What is the probability of obtaining 8 heads in a row when flipping a coin? Okay, 8 heads. Okay, first of all, what is the probability of heads? On a coin, what is the probability of you getting heads?
Oh, 1.
1 out of what? Which is 1/2 or 0.5. How many times you flipping it? What do we do?
You have a work email.
Multiplicative law. What do we do? Raise, this is 8 times. So what does that mean? That's an exponent of 8. So that's going to be 0.5 raised to the 8th power. So I'm going to go over here and do it. Now what do they want? Do they want, okay, so they want a decimal. They don't want a fraction. So that's going to be 0.5 raised to the what? 0.5 raised to the what? 8th power. Is it going to be small? Yes. Why? Because if you flip a coin 8 times, what is the probability that every one of them are going to be heads? Very small. Think about it. You ever flipped a coin before? Flip it 8 times and every single one of them is going to come up and be heads. Somebody's going to think something's wrong with the coin, right? Exactly. Because it's one time it's got to fall on tails. So it's going to be very small.
Tell me where you got the 5 from here.
How many heads, how many sides are on a coin? And what are they asking for? Heads. Well, how many heads are there?
8.
There's 1 head on a coin.
Oh, yeah. 1.
Yeah. All right. And I'm going to raise that to the what? Okay. What is 1/2? 0.5.
Oh, and that's.
So you can do both. It doesn't matter. You'll get the same answer. And that's equal to, and I'm sorry, but it's going to erase this. Now, this is a good test question. Why is it a good test question? Short and sweet. Enter. I'm trying to be nice. How many places? 0.00391. I'm trying those letters. Those letters almost smushed together from this angle. 0.00391. Now y'all should write that down. Oh, I thought it was how many questions? How many questions this thing got? I hate these. I thought it was just one question. Consider the event of a coin being flipped 8 times. If the event is repeated 10,000 different times, it is expected that the event would result 8 heads about, multiply that times 1,000 or 10,000. 10, 100,000, 10,000. So it'd be 39. Multiply it times 1,000 in your calculator. I'm not going to explain moving the decimal because we ain't got time to go over that. But if you do know how to move the decimal, that's good. Times 10,000. Is that 10,000? 39 times. Okay, that is still a good test question. As long as it don't have A through E. A through C is fine. After C, I don't use it as a test question. Next. Uh, 5.2. Can't believe people are still doing 5.2. 5.2, 7/4. Starting to get a headache. Okay, this question is, I'm just going to set it up. You got one set, and you got another set. This is set F. This is set G. Now you want to write this down because as soon as I hit the mouse, it's going to go away. In F, we've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. When I was in grammar school at Berenis, I remember doing these sets when I was little, like first and second grade. Y'all remember doing this thing? I don't know. I remember. And G is 7, 8, 9, 10. Now remember, 5.2 is the what law? Always subtract the overlap. Say again?
On verbs now?
I'm not. Always subtract the overlap. I'm divorced because of questions like that.
Me too. Not because of questions like that.
I'm divorced because you forgot the R. Yeah. No. Miss Dennis has said that there's not an R there.
Well,
Is that better, Miss Dennis?
Don't come up from work and I'm sleepy and I see that. I'm bound to look up that word.
She just gonna complain. That's what it is. All right, here we go. Where is the overlap? Somebody tell me where the overlap is. Well, 7. Really? Anything else? No. Okay, so 7 is your overlap. So that's 7. We're going to have to subtract it somewhere, some way. So 3, 4, 5, 6, and 8, 9, 10. Now the reason I show you this is the gist of the problem is an additive problem. So you're going to use the additive law. Now, what makes up the whole set of S? Well, everything in the two sets. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so if you are talking about, what makes up the set, well, there it is, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. What does OR mean? OR means additive law. I've got to hurry because I'm running out of time. I got like 6 minutes. All right, or 7 or 8 minutes. All right. F or G. So how many do I have in F? How many numbers do I have in F? Out of, what's the total? That's the biggest number. What's the total? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I was checking to see if there was any skips. There's 12, right? So 12 is my denominator. Remember, the biggest number is always your denominator. So 12. I'm doing this problem right here. I'm doing this problem. Okay? And how many are in F? And it says 5. How many are in G?
4.
Is there an overlap?
1, 7.
There's the overlap. Burlap. Okay? And that's going to be 5 plus 4 is 9. 9 over 1 is what? 8 over 12 is 0.667. And then they just go to the bottom and they ask you to do it over. They're asking you right there to actually do it right there. See? And then subtract the overlap. Let me move on to the next question. I hate to rush, but I'm trying to get over all of them. Next question.
Why don't you just go over the test on YouTube?
I guess I'm gonna have to. I didn't want to. I want to do it in class and where everybody, because if I just do it on YouTube, half the students won't go to YouTube. You don't realize I do these YouTube videos,
I've seen them.
and about one person out of each class actually uses them.
Dude, I watch the videos.
Do you?
I really do.
Oh, you're the one.
I subscribe to your YouTube channel. I did.
You know, I actually have people subscribe that are not taking my class.
Really?
They're taking other classes at other 120s, like at Pendleton campus. I got 2 students that are watching my videos, and they go to the Pendleton campus. So, but what gets me is let's say I've got 70 students. I got 6 classes, probably 85 students. I would say probably 10%, which is 8 to 10 students, actually watch the videos. Okay, this one says 5.2, number 7 slash, what does it say? Number 2, well, I can't see it, but anyway, there it is. Number 4. Now this is one, okay, I just did it. Okay, so let's go over this one right quick. Just the first part, all right? Overlap. 9 and 10, right? So now we got 2 numbers. So what is somebody tell me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 is still our denominator. I mean, we got an F. 6. So 6 plus, it's the additive law, 4, thank you, minus the overlap, which is 2 over 12. And that's going to be the part that asks you for the probability. And that first part, F or G, they're going to ask you, that's going to be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
So it's gonna be 2. Okay.
The reason it's minus 2 is because the overlap is
2 numbers.
9 and 10. There's your overlap. And that's why I put it in the circles, because you see the overlap better with the circles. Okay. All right, delete. And the reason to finish your question is if I did the test on the YouTube, then some students would use that against me and say, well, I didn't see it. And they would use it against me. So that's why I don't do it. Play games. And we're only talking about, a few people that would do that. But anyway. 16, whatever, this is 16. Okay, we've already done one like this, but the company data, so what do you got? I don't have time to go over it, but what do you do with the data? What's the first thing you do with the data? Put it in what?
Order.
Put it in your calculator and put it in what? Order. So I'm going to put it in the Excel spreadsheet. I'm going to just start the problem, okay? And what does it say about classes? It says 30 and a class width of 10. We went over this in chapter 2 or beginning of chapter 3. Class width is 10. You start with what? 30. So that would be 30, 40, 50. Oh, shoot. I have to do the little mouse. 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, and then start up here. 39, because you can't have overlap of numbers. 49, 59, 69, 79, 89, and 99. And that comes from just those two numbers right there. We went over that back in chapter 2, I think. I think it was either the last part of chapter 2 or the first part of chapter 3. And then you just count your numbers and put them what? Over the total. The total, what is the total? How many do we have? Let's see right quick. Good thing about you can count your numbers, 40. So your denominator is going to be what? 40. So let's count the first one, 30 to 39. I have to go back and forth, I'm sorry. Well, I done lost my spreadsheet. I know. Okay, 1. So I've got to do 1 out of what? Somebody take 1 and divide it by 40. I'm just going to do 1 divided by 40. I don't know if they want it. It says type integers or decimals. So you're going to have to change that into a decimal. 40 to 49, 1. So that's going to be 1 over 40. 50 to 59, 1 over 40, and so on. Now, I can't remember, does this ask for the mean and the standard deviation? And the 5-number summary? Where did we do that? We did that in chapter 3. Okay, so, you got to find the mean and standard deviation. Mean is equal to all the numbers added up divided by what? 40. Okay, I'm not going to go over all that, but mean is equal to median. That's the middle. 40 is an even number, so you have to take the two middle numbers and divide by 2. And then, of course, I'm already done. I heard the zipper. Okay, mean, median, and then the standard deviation. Well, we did all that in chapter 3. So you got to find all those numbers. Go back to chapter 3 videos and go over standard deviation. I hate to say that, but I've run out of time. I will try. I'll tell you what I'll do. I will do the rest of the questions on tomorrow's class, and then y'all can watch the rest of the questions on tomorrow's class. You see what I'm saying?
We can get into that class? Oh, because it's on team?
No, it's the way you come if you want to. Just tell me and I'll invite you. But on the videos, 120 on YouTube, you can go to both of them. And it'll say tomorrow, I'll put 120-24, and then I'll put parentheses 120-29 questions. Because I think most of these questions are from y'all. Let me check the roll right quick before y'all leave, because some of y'all I know got places to go. Let me check. Where is I done lost everybody. Okay, there we go. Let me check, see who's here and who came in late. Stop